Star player Tidus has a CG limit burst, so you can imagine that he was a featured unit on a banner long past. So with that in mind, anyone here pulled for him originally? Or did you get Unalaska instead? Star player Tidus' Trustmaster reward is a materia that boosts attack by 30%, equipment attack by 50% when carrying a single weapon, grants a 30% boost to water resistance, and gives a single limit burst crystal each turn. It's quite a lot of abilities, though the water resistance may be the only reason you use it after you start getting better equipment. His Super Trustmaster reward has actually been upgraded, raising its attack from 169 to 180, and raises the limit burst damage boost from 30% to 50. It's still locked to water though, making it a metaphorical double-edged sword. Onto his active abilities. Double Smash exists. Clearing is the spell. They finally updated Quick Hit Plus. Now it can be awoken further to raise its damage modifier and it chains of Bolting Strike. Wither Shot inflicts a 120% water imperil which later dries off to 100%, and the ability itself isn't accessible until turn 4. Slice and Dice Water inflicts a weak 80% water imperil, imbues water onto Tidus, and chains a Stardust Ray. Fire and Wind are basically the same thing, but I bet you'll never guess what's different. Blitzmania gives some MP regen that's funny to look at, though the 100% water resistance can definitely be helpful. Spiral Cut Plus removes any breaks on Tidus. Splash Hunt inflicts a 100% water imperil, boosts his attack by 250%, and gives him a powerful beast killer. Energy Rain Plus is actually pretty impressive, with a high damage modifier and partially ignoring defense to boot. Quick Flash deals light damage that chains of Bolting Strike, and lowers the enemy's light resistance by 120%. Ace's ability can be used once per battle. It buffs Tidus' water and light damage by 30%, raises his attack by 280%, boosts his limit burst damage by 200%, and fills his limit burst gauge. Passives. With his Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, Tidus gains a buff to his limit burst damage, equipment attack when carrying a single weapon, and a guts buff. He deals increased damage to beasts and fairies, has a strong boost to his limit burst damage, and will actually meet the equipment stat cap for double hand once you give him his Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward. As a CG limit burst unit from times long forgotten, Tidus automatically fills his limit burst gauge when he enters the fray. And this is even before EX Awakenings were introduced, so how have we gotten backwards? He meets half the boost for the chain cap push, and his normal attack has him spam the same attack 4 times over. He also gets a new passive that outright pushes the damage modifier of every single one of his physical attacks. At EX plus 2, he gets a boost to the chain modifier cap, bringing it up to the max, and at EX plus 3, he gains a whopping 1000 attack. Now let's look at his limit burst. It deals damage, but no one cares anymore. It's the abilities that it enables that are really worth looking at. Physical Training will buff his limit burst damage by 200%, and then fills it as well, though it's rendered moot considering his super limit burst has attack shift. The second ability it unlocks is Blitz Spirit, which gives your team an MP regen and raises the damage modifier of everything here. Time to change forms. Star player Tidus has a super limit burst. It's been a while since we've had someone with that. As with most super limit bursts, it comes with an automatic buff called Attack Shift, which raises the unit's attack by 250% and their limit burst damage by 200%, while instantly filling their limit burst gauges when the super limit burst is ready. The attack itself also inflicts a 135% water and light imperil, lowers the enemy's defense by 80%, gives Tidus a powerful beast and fairy killer, and then he deals incredible damage. Let's rank Brave abilities. I recommend raising Dream to end Dreams to raise his damage modifiers, and then Quick Flash because it's the only one left. Time to make a damage rotation. I'll be using Tidus as a water damage dealer. On turn 1, activate his limit burst. It's really weak at this point, we're just using it to enable its extra abilities. On turn 2, cast Blitz Spirit, Ace's ability, and Slice and Dice, Water. On turn 3, double cast Quick Hit Plus, and top it off with Energy Rain Plus. On turn 4, triple cast Quick Hit Plus. On turn 5, his Super Limit Burst is ready, so go ahead and let that loose. You'll repeat the rotation from here. Ace's ability will be offline, so you can replace it with either Wither Shot for a more persistent imperil, or an additional chain, depending on your team. If you've got his Super Trustmaster reward equipped, you don't even have to imbue water, as the weapon is elemental in the first place. So, EX2. As a Super Limit Burster, Tidus automatically benefits from EX Awakenings by virtue of lowering the cooldown for his Super Limit Burst. Not only that, but Tidus also has additional abilities locked behind further awakenings. And they're powerful buffs too. EX plus 2 lets him meet the full boost to the chain limit cap, while EX plus 3 gives him 1000 attack. If you have the materials to spare, they'll definitely bolster his viability by incredible degrees. So how good is star player Tidus? He's a powerful physical damage dealer despite the fact that his kit isn't even optimized. His Neo Vision Awakening gives him Quick Flash, which is his strongest standard ability, and while it comes with a strong Light Imperil, Tidus himself doesn't have a Light build, so his Super Limit Burst, by far his strongest weapon, wouldn't be able to capitalize on it without outside support, leaving him to prefer water as it's just much more accessible. His EX Awakening strengthened him even further, pushing him forward even as he continues to trip over his own feet. Of course, with a proper support team and equipment, you can bolster Tidus' viability more, which he'll definitely appreciate. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Tell me how many Tiduses you have. I have enough for EX+1.